Good evening, my dear student. I am Rakesh Chaubey from Sunbeam Sunset Jai Hind you all. My dear, after the estimation of error, my last video is on estimation of error, that how to estimate the errors by the 5 different methods, that is by finding true value, by finding absolute error in each measurement, by finding mean absolute error, relative error, percentage error. Today we will go for doing the numerical problem based on combination of error. Now when we talk about combination of error, that is error of sum, error of differences, error of product, error of divisions and error of powers. Now my dear, here I have taken the first example on error of sum. How to do the sum, error in the sum of two physical quantity. Here I have given one theory that let us understand this theory first and then we will apply these things on numerical. Okay. So now suppose the problem is given of this kind, that z is equal to a plus b. Now what is a plus b, my dear? It is the sum of a is the physical quantity, b is also the physical quantity, and we are adding these two physical quantity with their measured value, and we have to calculate how much is the error in that measurement, right? And when we are calculating that error, the question asked here is that z is equal to a plus b is given, okay? But the question is asked that how much is the maximum possible absolute error in the measurement. So question is z is equal to a plus b. These are the a and b are the two physical quantity, my dear, and we are adding this two physical quantity with their measured value, right? And after adding them with their measured value, because measured value will be given to us, we will calculate that how much maximum possible error is there after adding this two physical quantity with their measured value. Please try to understand, look at it. What is the measured value here in the case? So maximum possible absolute error in the measurement. And what is absolute error, sir? It is a difference. Absolute error is a difference. It is a difference between the true value and measured value. Difference between true value and measured value is the absolute error. So now here, for example, my dear, measured value, here I started. Measured value of a physical quantity, the measured value of a physical quantity is given to us in the numerical also. So let the measured value of a physical quantity is a, I am writing with the different pen, this is a plus minus delta a. Try to understand here, what is a? A is the true value of measurement. A is the true value of measurement, my dear. Matlab, if I measured a physical quantity, say A, so I have written this as A plus minus delta A. This A which I have written is the true value of that measurement of the physical quantity, true value. And delta A is the absolute error in the measurement of A. This is true value of measurement A. I measured which quantity? Physical quantity A. So this A which I have written first is the true value of measurement A. And this delta A which I have written is the absolute error in the measurement of A. Am I clear? And A is my physical quantity. I measured one of the physical quantity. So when I measured the physical quantity A, I got the two values. One is the true value of that measurement, of this measurement A, that is true value of measurement A, and del A is the absolute error in the measurement of A. And you all know, my dear, this is plus minus. You all know absolute error is positive also, is negative also. I will tell you, I'll go in brief when I will discuss this in the terms of numbers. Okay, you just wait and watch. So plus minus is nothing but, sir, this is delta A is the absolute error which can be positive also or negative also while taking the measurement, while doing the measurement. Okay, because we have done in my first video that absolute error comes, answer of the absolute error is in positive also and is in negative also. Okay, now my dear, similarly measured value of another physical quantity, say B, measured value of B, that is B physical quantity, is B plus minus, I have written here B plus minus delta B. What is B? B is the true value of measurement B, true value of measurement B. It is a true value which I measured this physical quantity B, jiska this B is a true value of the measurement B. And delta B is, my dear, absolute error in the measurement of B. Okay. So now, my dear, what is the maximum possible error in the measurement of Z? When I add this two, A and B, this two, so how much will be the maximum possible error? See, try to understand, the error is here delta A and delta B. A and B are the true value of the measurement, but delta A and delta B are the error in each measurement, and we have to calculate maximum error in total, my dear. Maximum error in total. Please remember, A and B is the true value of the measurement of physical quantity, but delta A and delta B are the error, absolute error in each measurement, that is A and B. Now science asks us that how much is the total absolute error when I combine them? What is the maximum possible absolute error? Individual absolute error is delta A and delta B in each measurement. But after combining, how much is the total? That is, how much is the maximum absolute error? Not only total, a maximum absolute error. So now, my dear, here I will take, let delta Z be the absolute error in the measurement of sum of two physical quantity, that is Z. Delta Z be the absolute error in the measurement of sum of two physical quantity. And what is sum of two physical quantity? I have taken Z. So let while adding the two physical quantity, I got some value Z. I got some measured value Z. And let I assume that delta Z be the absolute error, or I can say be the maximum possible absolute error in the measurement of sum of two physical quantity, and here I written that is Z. So now, my dear, here when I go for it, you all can see A is so much and B is so much. From problem, Z is equal to A plus B. But my dear, here when I solving this is given. So this can be written as A plus minus delta A. When I measured A, I got true value and the error in that value, error in that quantity. Plus minus, this is plus, because here the thing is addition. We are doing for sum. So here it is plus, I will put plus B plus minus delta B, because B is so much, A is so much. These are the physical quantity, and I measured the physical quantity A. I got the answer A plus minus delta A. What is A? True value. What is delta A? Sir, it is the absolute error in the measurement of A. Similarly, B is the true value of this physical quantity while measured it. and delta B is the absolute error in that measurement. So now my dear, this is Z. So Z is equal to here. How can I solve this? This is a true value my dear, A and B. So A and B are the true value. I can add them together. So this is A plus B. That is a true value is taken together. Plus minus. You can see plus minus. Here the first absolute error in A is delta A, whereas the absolute error in B is delta B. And since we are adding this two quantity, so the absolute error is also get added up. This is plus, that is delta A plus delta B, because we are adding, we are doing the sum of two physical quantity. So error will also be added up, that is delta A plus delta B. Right? Because we have had true value, we had error value. True value are A and true value was B. So I added A plus, I got A plus B, and error is delta A and delta B. According to the numerical, it is a error in the sum. So this error is also get added up, and answer is delta A plus delta B. Now my dear, you all know, you can see here, this is Z is equal to A plus B minus delta A plus delta B. You all can see. Now here, what is, now the question is maximum possible error. Maximum possible error my dear. So now when I go for here, this is A plus B, because true value is added together, A plus B. Here it is plus minus, because now I am adding absolute error. Absolute error in A is delta A. Absolute error in A, in the measured physical quantity A, is delta A, and absolute error in the measured physical quantity B is delta B. So when I add the absolute error, why I am adding? Because there is a order given, it is a sum of the two physical. So when I add the absolute error, delta A and delta B my dear, no doubt absolute error is in plus and minus, because as I said, so I'll put plus here, and I added the two absolute error because it is for sum. So now here it is, you all know from question, my dear, this A plus B is Z. This A plus B is Z my dear, it is already given. And this is plus minus, and this delta A plus delta B, I told here, let delta Z be the maximum possible absolute error in Z, in the measured physical quantity Z. So my dear, here this will be plus minus delta. Here the answer is plus minus delta Z. So now again here also, Z is the true value of the total sum. The Z which I have got is the true value of the total sum my dear, of the physical quantity. And delta Z is the absolute error of that total sum. And therefore this is called maximum. Now here my dear, maximum, because this delta Z is the maximum, I have added the two error. Of course the answer will be maximum error. Now you must be thinking that there is a minus sign here, my dear. Plus is there. So when I take this plus inside, it will remain plus. But when I take minus inside, sir, it will become minus and plus become minus. So it will be delta A minus delta B. But my dear, my question is maximum possible error. Maximum error is obtained only by adding the errors. I'll repeat, the maximum possible error is obtained when I add the absolute errors. Because question asks for maximum error in the measurement, not the least error in the measurement. Question is for maximum error. So since it is of maximum error, my dear, of course I have to add, because here the question is for addition also. So it is A plus B, so delta A plus delta B will be the total maximum error in the measurement of A and in the measurement of B. That is maximum error. So now my dear, now I got delta Z as a maximum error. Therefore here, from this is say 1 and say this is 2. So I can say here from 1 and 2, the maximum absolute error in Z is delta Z. The maximum absolute error in Z is delta Z, and that delta Z, how much I am getting? Delta Z ka value you can see. This is delta Z, and how much I am getting delta Z, my dear? I am getting delta Z as delta A plus delta B. So I hope you all clear that the maximum possible error is obtained since it is an addition of the two physical quantity. So the error will also added up, and the maximum possible error in this is the delta A plus delta B. Am I clear? So now here look at one sum, my dear, on the basis of this. If the two resistance R1 is 100 plus minus 3 ohm and R2 is 200 plus minus 4 ohm. Now here, what is 100? 100 is the true value of R1. And what is plus minus 3? Sir, it is error in the R1. It is absolute error in R1. Similarly, R2 is equal to 200 plus minus 4 ohm. This 200 is the true value. Is the true value, my dear, of the measured quantity R2, and 4 is the absolute error in R2. Absolute error in R2. So if I wish to go for this topic, comparison with this, sir, this will become R1 plus minus delta R1. R1, 100 become R1, that is true value, plus minus delta R1, and 200 become R2's, R2 ka quantity ka, it is a measurement. So 200 is the true value of R2. So here I can write R2 plus minus delta R2. So my dear, question is, are connected in series. Question is, they have given they are connected in series. And find their equivalent resistance. They are connected in series, my dear. And the question is, find equivalent resistance and maximum possible absolute error in equivalent resistance. Maximum possible absolute error in equivalent resistance, and you all know that equivalent means the total resistance, that is R1 and R2 when they are in series. So now, my dear, from class 10th you know that equivalent resistance in this case will be R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. Why I am taking R1 plus R2? Because they are connected in series. And my dear, they are connected in series. So here, therefore, this is R equivalent is equal to, here I am writing, this is R equivalent is equal to R1, that is 100 plus minus 3. This is R1 value, plus R2 value is 200 plus minus 4, and this is all in ohms. 100 plus minus 3 ohm plus 200 plus minus 4 ohm. Now therefore, my dear, this is R equivalent is equal to, when I write this as, I should write this in this way, beta. R equivalent plus delta R equivalent. Actually, this is the way we should write. R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. That is the formula, because they are in series. They show that we are adding the two quantity. So now, my dear, when I go further, as I said, R1 may, this 100 is the true value. Here I can write this as this way also. R1 plus minus delta R1. Similarly, this can be written as R2 plus minus delta R2. Now this is R equivalent plus minus delta R equivalent is equal to, my dear, this can be written as, now I substitute the value 100 plus minus 3 ohms plus 200 plus minus 4 ohm. I hope it is clear. So now everybody, I hope understanding the question now. Sir, R equivalent is a true value of this, and this is delta R equivalent is the maximum possible error, and which error? Absolute error in this R equivalent, in the measurement of R equivalent, please. Similarly here, sir, R1 is the true value of this physical quantity which is measured, and what is the name? First resistance. This is a true value, but plus minus delta R1 is the absolute error in the measurement of R1. So what is the true value of R1 is given? Sir, 100. What is absolute error in R1 is given? 3. What is true value of R2 given? 200. What is absolute error in R2 given? Absolute error in measurement of R2? Sir, 4. You can see. So now my dear, this is R equivalent plus minus delta R equivalent is equal to, this is 100 plus 200. I have taken the true value together, and here it is plus minus, now error value, this is 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4. So now my dear, here the answer will be R equivalent plus minus delta R equivalent, the value is 300 plus minus 7 ohm. This is the answer, my dear. R equivalent will be plus minus 300 plus minus 7 ohm. So this is, I calculate equivalent resistance. Actually this is the way, bacho. In the book it is given only R equivalent, but the right answer is this. So how much is the maximum possible error? Therefore, maximum possible absolute error in R equivalent is delta R equivalent. Maximum possible absolute error in R equivalent क्या है? Maximum possible absolute error R equivalent में क्या है? Delta R equivalent है सर. Maximum possible error in R1 क्या है? सर 3 है. Maximum possible absolute error in R2 क्या है? सर 4 है. So maximum possible error in R equivalent क्या है? सर delta R equivalent, and that is equal to delta R1 plus delta R2. And that is, my dear, delta R1, you remember 3 and delta R2 is 4. So answer here is 7 ohm. And that is coming where? This is the result form. This is the result form. Result we are writing with the true value along with the absolute error. But only if the question asks खाली error बताओ कितना error है? So error sir plus minus 7 का error है. What is the meaning of this? Now there are two kind of the people in the observations, my dear. One is the person who is getting more than true value, and one person is observing the same experiment getting less than the true value. So what is maximum value for this? Sir, 300 plus 7. 307. And what is the minimum value that person can measure? 300 minus 7, that is 293. And what is true value? Sir, 300. So the right answer for R equivalent is 300. Which we can directly 100 and 200 true value are added, so that is the R equivalent, because we are knowing from class 10 sir, R equivalent is series will be added up. So 300 is a true value. 300 is a true value. But sir, maximum error in the measurement is of 7. So one people is measuring the value as 307. And other people is measure the value of R equivalent as 293. I hope it is clear. And therefore this plus minus stand for that only, that if either it can be plus 7 by one category of the people while observing the experiment, and the answer is the true value answer, the right answer, the true value is the 300. The true value is the 300. But my dear, he is obtaining the answer, he observed the answer 307. So that 7 by which he is going exceeding the answer, that 7 is the error, my dear. And which error? Absolute error. One person is getting the answer 300 minus 7, that is 293. So the two kind of a person, 293, one person is getting, other is getting 307, where the true value of R equivalent is 300. You can see from the question, the true value is 300, but that's plus minus 7 which is coming is the error in the maximum error, my dear, in the measured quantity in R equivalent. And which is which quantity I am measuring? So equivalent resistance you are measuring. So remember, my dear, so this is the way when you are writing 300 plus minus 7, the real meaning of this is that it is the answer can be 293 or answer can be 307. Am I clear? The least answer is 293 and the maximum answer is 307. I hope it is clear, my dear. And the true value of this R equivalent is 324. So what is that 7? So sir, that 7 is the absolute error in the measurement. That's 7. And that is the delta Z is delta A plus delta B. Our main aim is to calculate how much error in the measurement. So error in the measurement is of 7 ohms. And that 7 ohms will be added or subtracted from the true value because of the two category of the observer. One either getting less 7, that is 293 value, and other is getting 307 values. So I hope it is all clear to you all. So this is the first sum on the first topic. Now let's go to the next one.